The black one you put as well.
Which one?
The black one.
Oh yeah, it's fine. Then.
Oh yeah. Alright then. I believe we're good to go. Can you hear me clearly? Can you hear me clearly?
Can't, sir.
Most and Chris. Alright then. Let's go. Give me a second. I'll just get my notes. All right, now remember to check out Commanding General Johanna's radio show, Monday 2 a.m. Also, check out the one on Saturday 2 a.m. We have online classes here in the UK, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, 7 p.m. till 9. We also have online classes Tuesday and Friday. We have the radio show on the ends Friday, and the Sabbath service Saturday, and Camp Lord Allow, the weather's Tuab and everything, Brixton High Street, and Birmingham High Street also. So we'll be there. Just contact the school for information. Also, any questions, type them in the chat and we'll get to them. So any questions you have, just type them in the chat and we'll get to them. And also we're going to go over the law of jealousy and what it means to love your enemies of Israel, because people think it means if a man does anything to you, you must love him and give him your last penny and all of those kind of things and so forth. So we're going to go over all of those. We're going to go over all of those kind of things today. All right, hold on. Let me just get there with you. So we're going to start off in the book of Leviticus, chapter 19 and verse 17. Also, any questions? You just type them in and we'll get to them.
Leviticus 19, verse 18.
Let's start from 17.
Leviticus 19, verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart.
So your heart in the Bible is your mind. So you ain't supposed to hate your brother in your mind. Why? Because before you murder your brother, it's premeditated. And where does it start in your mind, man? When you equip yourself with that weapon and you go right out for somebody, where does it start? In your mind, man. If you hate your brother in your heart, that's where murder first starts. It starts in your mind. Before you carry out this murder, what happens? It's in your head. You go get that gun and load up them bullets and you say, you know what? I'm going to drive to the other side of the town and I'm going to go and shoot and kill somebody. That's you hating your brother in your heart, man. Because if you didn't hate your brother in your mind, guess what? You wouldn't be thinking about loading up guns and all of those things to take his life. You wouldn't think about going to stab him and shoot him and all of those kind of things. Hating your brother in your heart starts in your mind, man. And before you commit any crime, guess what happens? It starts in your mind. You don't just wake up one day and accidentally kill someone, even though it's possible. Now, that could be an accident. That could be self-defense. That could be happened out of the blue. But most people, they hate their brother in their heart so much that what in their mind, they walk around with a knife looking for trouble, man. They have guns looking for trouble. You're going out looking for trouble. Why? Because you hate your brother, man. And the Lord's telling us we ain't supposed to hate our brother in our mind. We ain't supposed to hate our brothers. We ain't supposed to hate our sisters. Because when you hate them, what do? You think to do harm to them, man. You want to kill them. You want to destroy them. And it all starts in your mind, man. And that's like we went over last week, where it says if their whole mind be light, then your body's full of light, man. Whereas if your mind be dark, and for you to hate your brother in your heart, in your mind, your mind's dark, man. You're right. Thinking about killing your brother, thinking about harming him, robbing him, and all of those kind of things. When the Lord's giving us this law that we ain't supposed to do them things. Read on.
Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor.
Thou shalt what?
Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor.
And you're supposed to correct your neighbor. If you see a brother or sister and you know them and they're doing something wrong, you're meant to correct them, man. Say, look, man, don't do that, man. Instead of you hating them, if someone does you wrong, and before it gets to the stage of you hating them, you're meant to go to them and speak to them, man. You're meant to correct them.
Right.
Because if you hold it back, guess what happens? You're gonna hate your brother in your mind, man. You're gonna hate him. Why? Because you're gonna think about everything that is done to you, and he probably don't even know what he's done to you is hurting you. Why? Because you ain't told him, man. You're meant to correct and rebuke your neighbor, man. Instead of hating him in your heart, instead of you hating him in your head, thinking, I hope this brother catches this, I hope he dies from this. Instead of you thinking all these things, you're meant to correct him, man. I'm like, look, man, I don't like what you're doing. I don't like what you've done. Let him know, man. Rebuke your neighbor, man. Go ahead.
Kadawan Khan, and not suffer sin upon him.
And not suffer sin upon him. Suffer is all old English word for allow, man. If you see your brothers do something wrong, you say, look, man, don't do that, man. If you know a brother and he's doing something wrong, or sister, you say, look, don't do that, man. Don't egg them on to go and do it. Say, nah, man, don't do that. Don't suffer sin upon him. Why? Because what's gonna happen? If you hate him in your mind so much, and you want him to sin against the Lord, why? Because you want him to die. The wages of sin is death. And if you allow him to sin, guess what's gonna happen? He's going to die, man. Whereas if you could have stopped him, you could have said, look, don't do that, man. That goes against the Lord. And the thing is this, if you don't like him anyway, and you tell him, look, don't do that, it goes against the Lord, and he doesn't listen to you anyway, guess what's going to happen? He's going to sin, and he's going to be punished for it anyway, and you won't be the cause of it. The thing is this, we harm one another when we don't need to, man. The Lord says vengeance belongs to him, and the Lord can avenge better than any of us, man. I mean, you're avenging, guess what happens? You go to jail. There's no jail that can hold the Lord, man. There's no jail that can hold them angels of the Lord. What verse you at?
18, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
Thou shalt not avenge.
Thou shalt what?
Not avenge.
Thou shalt not avenge. And by you avenging means what? You're not forgiving, man. People think forgiveness is someone robs you and kills one of your loved ones, and you have to love them and be friends with them. Nah, man. What forgiveness is, the definition of forgiveness is you not taking vengeance, man. Now, if someone killed your parents, you've got every right to dislike them and hate them and can't stand them, man. But you can't avenge, man. Forgiveness is you not taking vengeance yourself. Forgiveness is you just sitting back and waiting for the Lord to dish out his punishment, man. That's what forgiveness is. Forgiveness is you not picking up weapons and going and avenging yourself. That's what forgiveness is. Forgiveness ain't someone robs you and you forgive them and invite them around to rob you again. Someone harms you and you invite them around to harm you again. That's not forgiveness, man. Forgiveness ain't a sister getting raped by a man and she sits with this man at the barbecue. That's not forgiveness, man. Forgiveness is what? You not taking vengeance against this man. And you cannot stand this person, and you listen, you can dislike this person and you've got every right to. Why? Because they've done something wrong to you. And what are we supposed to do? Sit down and wait on the Lord's vengeance, man. Wait for the Lord to avenge us. When anyone harms us, we don't need to harm anyone. We just wait for the Lord to avenge us. Now, what does that? Does that mean if someone punches you in the face, you don't defend yourself? No, man. If someone punches you in the face, you defend yourself. But you don't go home and then go phone all everybody to come with weapons and then go. That's when it becomes premeditated. That's when you're avenging yourself and taking vengeance. We ain't supposed to do it that way. What verse you at, Akian?
18, sir.
Go ahead.
Nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people.
Nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people. And the children of thy people is our own people, man. We ain't supposed to have a grudge against them. Because when you got a grudge against someone, anything they do, you dislike them, man. Anything they do, you dislike them and can't stand them. So we ain't supposed to bear no grudge against our own people, man. If a brother does you wrong, you just correct him, say, look, don't do that again. And guess what? If he don't listen to you, guess what will happen? The Lord will correct him, man. And when that man's mad and ready to seek vengeance, he can't come and harm you. Why? Because you ain't the one that done the harm to him. The Lord will jam him up so bad and he ain't going to know where it's coming from. You know exactly where it's coming from, but he don't know where it's coming from. But if you go and pull a weapon out on him, guess what's going to happen? Somebody else is eventually going to pull a weapon out on you. You go and harm him, someone else is going to harm you. And then the cycle don't stop. And the thing is, in here, we stop the cycle, man. That's what we're doing here. We stop the cycle of black men hating black men. Drop that, give me Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse 35.
Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 35. To me belongeth vengeance.
So what?
To me belongeth vengeance.
The Lord said vengeance belongs to him. So the Lord's going to take vengeance on all the people that disobey him. And if you serve the Lord and somebody harms you, the Lord's going to take vengeance on them. We don't need to take matters into our own hands. The thing is this, you take vengeance on them, the Lord's going to be mad at you. Why? Because you're taking his vengeance, man. His vengeance belongs to him. You're trying to carry out something that the Lord wants to carry out. The Lord wants to carry out the punishments amongst Israel when we disobey him, or when a brother's doing something incorrect. If a brother harms you, the Lord wants to take vengeance on him. Because if you take vengeance on that brother, guess what's going to happen? His family members is going to take vengeance on you. The same force you use against him, his family is going to use against you. And then what happens? We have a cycle where what? This gang's killing that gang because this man died. So one of them have to die. They kill him, another one of them has to die. They kill him, another one of them has to die. Whereas, if we just say, you know what, we're not going to kill each other, man. If we just say, you know what, this brother's done me wrong, and vengeance belongs to the Lord, I'm gonna correct the brother and say to him, yo, what you done was wrong. And if he don't want to hear you, the Lord will take vengeance on him, man. The Lord ain't sleeping where the Lord don't see the injustices which is taking place in the earth. The Lord sees what's going on, man. The Lord sees who harms you, and the Lord will avenge you in his time, man. Now, it might not be tomorrow, it might not be in 5 years, but best believe if that person don't change their life, they're going to get what's coming to them, man. And you should have comfort knowing, look, I don't need to take vengeance. Why? Because the Lord's going to deal with them.
That's right.
It happens every single time, man. It happens every single time. There's always a neighborhood bully somewhere, and he robs everybody, and he terrorizes everybody, and everybody's too afraid to harm him. And then guess what happens one day? You find out that neighborhood bully is dead, man.
Right.
You find out that neighborhood bully messed with the wrong person and someone shot him, man, killed him. Listen, man, all this time, this person's been bullying everybody, and now the Lord's finally visited him, man. The Lord visits them on a day that you don't even expect. One day you just see it on the news, this person shot to death, and you're like, wow, damn, I seen it coming. Why do you see it coming? Because you understand vengeance, man. You understand how the Lord works. The Lord gives that person time to repent, and if they don't, they're going to get wiped out one day, man. And guess what? Guess what's going to happen? You don't have to go to jail for it. Why? Because you didn't harm them. The Lord took vengeance on them. Read that from the top.
Kadawan Khan. To me belongeth vengeance and recompense.
To me belongeth vengeance and recompense. Meaning the Lord what? The Lord will repay them, man. The Lord will repay them for their crimes and for the things they do. Mm-hmm. For the crimes that they do, the Lord will repay them. The Lord said vengeance and recompense belongs to me. And what do we do against each other? Take vengeance, man. And then someone else takes vengeance on us. And then it's a cycle that never ever stops. And then it keeps on going. Go ahead.
Kadawan Khan. Their foot shall slide in due time.
Their what?
Their foot shall slide in due time.
Listen, man. Their foot's going to slide in due time. Due time, this person's going to get got by the Lord, man. Why do I need to harm anybody when I know vengeance belongs to the Lord?
Right.
And I know, though they're walking fine today, their foot's going to slide in due time, man. Something's going to happen to them in due time.
Mm-hmm.
If a man harms you and you serve the Lord, their foot's going to slide in due time, man. The only way that man cannot get harmed by the Lord is by what? Him saying to the lucky, repenting and coming and serving the Lord also. Or if not, his foot's going to slide in due time, man. He will get some disease. He will get cancer or something. The Lord will get rid of him how he wants to get rid of him, man. His car will end up in a tree. Someone else will take him out. His foot is going to slide in due time. Though he's walking fine today, the neighborhood bully, all the jewelry, all the money in the world because he's robbing everybody, his foot's going to slide in due time, man. And you're going to see it. You're going to see it, man. What verse you at? Is there any more on that, or is that about it?
For the day of their calamity is at hand.
What?
For the day of their calamity is at hand.
For the day of their calamity is at hand. Their day is coming, man. Their day is coming. And it's our job not to harm our brothers, man. Because if they don't get right, the Lord's going to deal with them anyway. It's our job to say, look, man, change your life, fix up, get right. If they don't get right, the Lord is going to deal with them anyway.
Right.
And they have calamities at hand. They don't see it, man. They get dressed in their nice outfit and they go to the club. Guess what? Some of them don't make it back from that club, man. They're going out to have a nice time and they end up dying that night, man. And the Lord said their foot is going to slide in due time. And it happens to almost every gang member, you know, man. They're living their best life. You're thinking they're going to be here forever. And one day they're not here no more. Why? Because their foot is going to slide in due time, man. And that's everybody's foot if you don't get right with the Lord. If you don't get right with the Lord, in due time, your foot is going to slide. And the day of your calamity is at hand. And you can't see it, man. You can't see that you're walking to your own funeral, man. You can't see that you're walking to your own death when you're not serving the Lord. Until you're struggling to breathe. And then you're not here no more, man. And then another statistic on the news. Why? Because you didn't want to serve the Lord. Or is there any more on that?
Cancer.
Go ahead.
And the things that shall come upon them, make haste.
And the what?
And the things that shall come upon them, make haste.
And there's going to be things that come upon them, man. There's going to be things that come upon them. And you don't want these things to come upon you, man. So it's best we serve the Lord. We've seen people die. Plenty of people die. And it's sad to see, man, when young black kids is dying, 16, 17, 18, is dying, man. And understand this, not all people have the same time. Some people might live a lot longer than somebody else. You might do the same thing that somebody else is doing, and you die before them, man. Or you die after them. Nobody knows when their last day is coming. Nobody knows when their day of calamity is coming, man. We don't know, you don't know. But if you're not serving the Lord, just know that it's going to come. Just know it's around the corner. Is there any more in that?
Like answer.
Give me Romans chapter 12 and verse 17.
Can't. Romans 12, 17. Recompense to no man evil for evil.
Do what?
Recompense no man evil for evil.
Says pay back no man evil for evil. So if a man does evil for evil to you, don't pay him back with evil, man. Like if a man tries to shoot you, you pay him back evil would be you trying to shoot him. If a man robs you, you paying him back evil would be you trying to rob him. The Lord saying, don't do that. Don't pay back no man evil for evil. Recompense no man evil for evil. A man does you harm, don't try and do the same thing to him. Why? Because then that situation will be ongoing, man. That situation will never end. A man robs you, guess what you say? You know what? Here's my brother and he robbed me. And this man, he's going to be waiting for you to harm him. And when you don't harm him, that's meant to make him say, damn, this man's righteous, man. Look at what I've done to him and look at the love he showed me. So look at how I betrayed him. And so like I say that again, Hakim.
So like sir, does that mean like you just stand there like you know, a sheep and just like take the robbery, or like someone trying to rob you, thump them up at the time that they're doing it to defend yourself, right? Oh
yeah, listen, a man tries to rob you. You've got every right to defend yourself, man.
At that time.
At that time, how yeah, a man tries to rob you, you defend yourself, man.
Is that
a man
not
tries to attack you, defend yourself. Go ahead.
Is that not recompense though?
No, that's defending yourself. Recompensing evil for evil would be a man trying to shoot you, and you escape from the scene, and then you go home, and then you premeditate an attack. So it's more that like you plan an attack. But a man coming up on you and you defending yourself, that's not recompensing evil for evil. That's just self-defense. Even in the law, you can defend yourself. Like the Bible says, if a man breaks into your house, you've got the right to kill that man. But if it's the daytime and you know who that man is, then you can't kill him. Why? Because you can take him to the law and get it dealt with. So there's a certain time when you can defend yourself. There's certain times when every time you defend yourself, but there's certain times when if someone's trying to harm you, then you have to harm them. There's certain times, but you can't go back and plot and say, all right, then, I know where they hang out. Let's go shoot up their block. recompense no man evil for evil.
So lucky, sir.
Go ahead.
That obviously means though, if you're in the truth, because there's man out there in the game, in gangs, shotting and all that. So someone shoot after them, and they're listening to this right now. They're gonna be like, "Hold on, no man just shot after me. If I don't shoot them back, they're gonna kill me." There's people in the game that would kind of disagree. You understand what I mean, though?
I'm glad you said that. And the Bible also says, if any man serves the Lord will even cause his enemies to be at peace with him, man.
Right.
So all of that stuff that you done back then, once you change your life, them men won't be able to harm you if the Lord don't want them to harm you. The Lord said vengeance is his. The Lord will make sure them men can't harm you, man. And if them men did try to harm you, guess what would happen? They wouldn't make it, man. The Bible says angels encampeth around the righteous. So if that man truly believes the truth and understands who the Lord is, that the Lord is a man of war, and the Lord has angels that can protect you, then that man will know, I don't need to pick up no gun.
Right.
That man will know the Lord is with me. That man will know I don't need to shoot nobody.
Okay.
That man will know if them men harm me unjustly, the Lord is going to deal with them. So that man wouldn't get carnal. Like, you see what it is? Sometimes we get carnal and think the Lord can't protect us. So then we'll go and pick up weapons. Give me, hold that, but give me Psalms chapter 32 and verse 5. I believe this is the one where it talks about angels encamping around. Let me see if that's the right one.
32 verse 5.
It might be the right one. It might
Psalm 32 verse 5.
Is that the right one?
I don't think it is that one actually. I acknowledge my sin unto thee and my iniquity have been hid. Not that one.
It might be Psalms 132 and 5. Hold on, let me check. Find me that one. Google that one for me. Hold on. No, it's not that one. Hold on, 1 second.
No.
I'll Google that precept for me. The angels of the Lord encampeth around the righteous. I know it's Psalms 30 something and 5. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. So if you're new to the truth and you've got beef with anyone, just understand this. This could be a test, man. The Lord wants to see.
Psalms 34:7. It's lucky, sir.
Which one was it?
Psalms 34:7.
Listen, I knew I was close. Go ahead.
So lucky. I'm just gonna.
So now, as I was saying, now if you're coming into the truth and you've got beef in the streets, get counsel, man. And this could be your test. The Lord wants to know if you truly believe in Him or not.
That's true.
Because now, guess what's going to happen? You know the Lord is what? Vengeance belongs to the Lord. And then you go and take vengeance yourself. You're taking vengeance yourself because you think these men are going to harm you. Guess what's going to happen? The Lord's going to take vengeance on you, man.
That's true.
Because you've gone and avenged yourself and not wait and not listen to the Lord.
Right.
So any man trying to come in the truth from that gang life, understand this, man. Once you come in here, the Lord is with you, man.
That's right.
Them men won't be able to harm you. And guess what will happen? Them men will see that you've changed your life. Them men will see that you dress different, you look different, and you're not a part of that no more.
Right.
Them men will realize he don't even dress like that no more. He don't even speak like that no more. He don't even do them things no more. Guess what? They won't even recognize you, man.
Right.
They'll just be like, damn, he's changed his life. He ain't living that life no more. Because what you'll find is most gang members, the reason why they all hate each other, why? Because they see themselves as all on a similar level. What you'll find is most people that have problems in the streets, they all dress similar, they all behave similar, they all look similar. And that's why they have issues. Why? Because they see a man that looks exactly like them, and in their mind, they're like, damn, I'm out here looking for trouble. He must be out here looking for trouble. Now, if they see you dressed completely different, talking completely different, they come to you and you say shalom, they're going to look at you differently. Listen, the approach is different, man. Once they come to you and you say shalom, they're going to look at you different, man. Because you ain't using words that they can identify with. Straight away, listen, a man wouldn't even try and rob you if he sees how you're dressed in here, man. If he sees how you speak in here. Because you're using words that he's not used to. What you find is most people try and rob people who look like them, man. Who try and rob people who's around them. But go ahead, Hakian.
Quran Khan, Psalms 34, verse 7. The angel of the Lord encampeth around them that fear him.
The what?
The angel of the Lord encampeth round them that fear him.
And get me the next one quite as well, the one where it says there's more angels amongst us than chariots or whatever that's around them. But I read that again, Hakim.
Kadawan Khan, Psalms 34, verse 7. The angel of the Lord encampeth round them that fear him.
Listen, man, sometimes you think you by yourself. Nah, man, the angels of the Lord is around you. You know how much times, listen, your whole, every day of your life, you're supposed to have been dead, man. What the angels is around us, keeping us alive, man. Every time we go to camp, we're supposed to have been dead. Them angels is around us, keeping us alive, man. Them angels encampeth around the righteous. Is there anyone that I can?
And delivereth them.
And do what?
And delivereth them.
Well, if there is a brother that's in the gang and he wants to change his life, you don't need to go kill nobody, man.
Right.
Because there's angels that encampeth around you and they deliver you, man.
That's right.
They deliver you away from harm, man. Listen, man. You will miss those men that's after you by a second, man. You're gonna be like, "Ooh, that was close." Listen, you missed them, man. Why? Because them angels is around you, man. And then what you'll see is all the men that's trying to kill you. Guess what will happen? As they're coming to kill you, the police will pull over their car and they'll go to jail for 7 years, man.
That's right. That's
They'll go
right.
to jail for 7 years.
That's
You don't
right.
have to worry about them men for 7 years, man. They're in jail for 7 years.
Right.
By the time they come out of jail, they're gonna realize they should have changed their life like you changed your life, man.
Right.
They're going to see you in here with power and rank and wives and all of them things, man. While they're rotting in some jail cell. Why? Because they wanted to try and kill their brother. Read on Hakim, any more on that?
La Asa.
All right, no, sir. Give me the one that you're holding quite as well.
Psalms chapter 68 and verse 17. The chariots of God are 20,000, even thousands of angels. The Lord is among them, as in Sinai.
Yes,
In the
no,
holy place.
not that one. There's the next one. Hold on.
I'm gonna get it for you. I know which one it is.
No, it's not about. All right, I'm also on Christ. Yeah, see if you can find that one for me. Also, any questions, just type them in. We'll get to them.
All right. That is 2 Kings 6 verse 16.
Good.
So lucky, I'm gonna get that for you. Let me just get that. 2 Kings 6:16. Yeah.
What precept is it?
2 Kings 6 and 16. So lucky, sir.
Yeah, go ahead. Ryan, what kings did you want? Did you want First Kings or Second Kings? Go ahead.
2 Kings 6 verse 16. And he answered, "Fear not, for they that be with us are more than they that are with them."
And now sometimes people get fearful because you're thinking it's just 3 men, it's just 3 of us. You're seeing like 100 men coming towards you, an army with chariots and tanks and everything, and you're thinking, "Damn, there's all these men and there's just 4 of us." You're not realizing them angels is around you, man.
Right.
You're not realizing these men that you're seeing, they're just men, and these angels is around you, which what move at the speed of lightning, man. Can pull them men, or can kill the men while they're still standing on their feet, man. Can make all of the men drop dead from a heart attack right in front of you, man.
Right in front of you.
He said, "Be fearful, man." Read on.
So lucky, sir, if I may, sir.
Go ahead.
I saw them put something on YouTube where the chariot was dodging in and out of their bullets, like they was trying to shoot down this chariot, and it was dillying and dallying, chewing in and out of the bullets, and then came back round again and in and out of the bullets. So like the angels are in a different dimension to us, right?
The angels, the way they move. They can move at the speed of lightning. Like, say, for instance, you can run, and then what can they do? Just end up in front of you, man. You can run that way, they just end up in front of you. And some of them don't turn around. Some of them move forwards, backwards. They don't turn around side to side. And listen, man, they can kill you any way they want.
That's right.
It lets you know when David said how the angel was in the sky with a sword, man. All you would see is people dropping dead, and you're wondering, yo, what plague's this? You're seeing loads of people dropping dead, and you're thinking, what plague's this? And David looked up and seen the angel in the sky with the sword, man. Listen, man, this is in the spiritual realm that you don't see. All these people dropping dead, all this army The Lord can kill them just like that, man.
Right.
What verse you at?
I'm now about to go into 17, sir.
So we in 2 Kings.
2 Kings 6:16. Now going on to 17, sir.
Hold on, I believe a brother had a question. Hold on. Let me see what 14 says. Go ahead.
Karawan Khan. And Elisha prayed and said, Lord, I pray thee, open his eyes that he may see.
Hold on, what verse you at?
Verse 17, sir.
Hold on 1 second. The brother, hold on, let me just see where to start from.
Khan.
Go ahead. Go to start from verse 11.
Karawan Khan. Therefore, sorry, Salakia, 2 Kings 6, verse 11. Therefore, the heart of the king of Syria was sore and troubled for this thing.
Go ahead.
Karawan Khan. And he called his servants and said unto them, Will ye not show me which of us is for the king of Israel?
Go ahead.
Karawan Khan. And one of his servants said, None, my lord, O king. But Elisha the prophet, that is in Israel.
Elisha was a prophet in Israel. Go ahead.
Telleth the king of Israel the words that thou speakest in thy bedchamber.
Words in the bedchamber, and the king of Syria was afraid. Go ahead.
Karawan Khan. And he said, Go and spy where he is, that I may send and fetch him.
Go ahead.
And it was told him, saying, Behold, he is in Dothan.
Go ahead.
Therefore sent he thither horses and chariots, and a great host.
So now he sent chariots, he sent horses and chariots, he sent a great host, he sent a great army, he sent a military, and this military came and encamped around the city. Go ahead.
Karawan Khan. And they came by night and compassed.
And they came by night. Imagine you seeing a whole military coming through your city in the night. They came by night with the horses and chariots, and back then chariots would scare people half to death, man. Because based on how their chariots looked, you knew how mighty this military was. So imagine this comes by night, and you're thinking, damn, what's going on here? You're thinking these ain't our people, but they've come in horses, chariots. It's like when you watch them slavery movies and you see all the horses and the KKK, and you're afraid in your house thinking, what's going on outside? They sent all of these kind of things. Go ahead.
Karawan Khan. And when Salakia, and compassed the city about, and when the servant of the man of God was risen early.
So now this man was with Elisha. This was his servant. This man seen these things and he was afraid. Why? Because he's seen chariots, he's seen horses, he's seen a great host, he's seen a great army. Go ahead.
Karawan Khan. And gone forth, behold, a host compassed the city both with horses and chariots.
And they compassed the city both with horses and chariots. So they've surrounded the city, meaning they've blocked it off. Basically, you can't get in and out because they've surrounded it with a great host, chariots and horses, an army. Go ahead.
Karawan Khan. And his servant said unto him, Alas, my master, how shall we do?
So they went to Elisha saying, damn, what shall we do? Because now they're thinking we're outnumbered. They've got a great army, chariots. What shall we do? So they're thinking, damn, what are we going to do in this situation? We're outnumbered. Go ahead.
Karawan Khan. And he answered, Fear not, for they that be with us are more than they that are with them.
And this is why he said, fear not, because they that be with us is more than them. So why? He knew that the angels was with him. He knew all the host of heaven was with him. And he knew that these men was just, just regular men with horses and chariots. And he knew the damage that these angels could do. And he's saying there's more with us than with them. But though at the time, all the servant was seeing is him and Elisha. So I can say that again, Hakim. Your phone's breaking up. No, I mean your thing's breaking up. Your thing's breaking up, you know, Hakim.
So like you said,
Yeah, go ahead. You're breaking up. You got choppy in and out.
breaking up a bit.
So like you say
Like
that
you
again.
say, you're breaking up.
Is it me or is it me or you? So like is someone online, give me a 1 if you can hear me clearly. Give me a 1 if you can hear me clearly. Say something, Hakim. Let me see if I can hear you now. Hold on, let me check. Hold on. Shalom, Lord and Christ. It's frozen. All right, then let me remove you and then just jump back in. Yeah, all right, then all right, jump back in. All right, Shalom, Lord and Christ. Lord and Christ. Oh, all right, then most of Christ. I thought it was my one. Let me just add Hakim back. Can you hear me now, Hakim? Give me 1 second. Let me just let Hakim come back. Oh, it's Hakim's internet. All right, no sweat. All right, no sweat. Where was we? Go ahead, Hakim. Let me see if I can hear. Nah, look, I lost him. If you could get me 2 Kings chapter 6 and verse 16. So get me 2 Kings chapter 6 and verse 16.
2 Kings chapter 6 and verse 16. And he answered, fear not.
He answered, fear not. Why? Because this man was afraid because the host, he's seen the whole host come. And you'd be afraid if you see a military come. Go ahead.
For they that be with us are more than they.
And he's letting them know, those that be with us is more than them, man. There's men that they don't see. Read on.
Are more than they that be with them.
Go ahead.
And Elisha prayed and said, Lord, I pray thee, open his eyes, that he may see.
And Elisha prayed. Elisha was a prophet of the Lord, man. If a prophet of the Lord says to you, look, man, don't be fearful, man. There's more of us that is with them. Now, this man must be thinking, Elisha's crazy, because this man must be thinking, I can't see nobody. So Elisha prayed to the Lord, and the Lord opened his eyes so he could see the men that was with them. So he opened his eyes. Go ahead.
And the Lord opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw, and behold, the mountain was full of horses.
And he saw what?
The mountain was full of horses.
And he saw he opened his eyes, and once his eyes was opened, he saw the mountain was full of horses. Go ahead.
And chariots.
And what?
And chariots.
Listen, them men came with horses and chariots. Elisha prayed, guess what these angels had? Horses and chariots, man. Go ahead.
Of fire.
And with what?
Of fire.
Theirs was way better than what those other people came with. They had horses and chariots of fire, man. They're ready to burn shit up if they need to do it, man. This man couldn't see this until Elisha prayed to the Lord and the Lord opened his eyes. Never forget that them angels is with you, man. Never forget that the Lord is with you. Even if you're in front of 100 people, never ever forget that the Lord is with you, man.
Right.
Go ahead.
Right.
Round about Elisha.
And there was what?
Round about Elisha.
Sometimes you just see 5 men. Understand this? There's thousands of angels amongst these 5 men, man.
Right.
There's thousands of angels amongst these 5 men, and you don't see it, man. You think you're throwing things at the camp, throwing things at them. Them angels will put you to death, man. You have a heart attack by the time you get home, man.
Right.
You better watch your step when you step before these men. Before you touch these men, you better watch your step, man.
That's right.
Because there's more with these men than with you. You just see 5 men at camp. Understand there's thousands of angels around them.
Right.
You think there's 50 of you and you think you're going to threaten somebody. Fear not, man. Because there's more with us than there is with you.
That's
Chariots of fire and all of these things. Go ahead.
And when they came down to him, Elisha prayed unto the Lord and said, smite this people, I pray thee.
And what?
And said, smite this people, I pray thee, with blindness.
So lucky there's a troll in the chat that seems to have hacked, copied Yanukov's name. Can you see it? There's some idiot in the chat. Talking about Shalom Aleichem. Listen, man. These trolls need to grow up, man. Go ahead.
According to the word of Elisha, and Elisha said unto them, this is not the way, neither is this the city. Follow me.
Hold on, what verse?
Verse 19.
Yeah, no, but we got the main part on that. Is that about it?
I think that's it.
That's it. All right, and then the brother had the next question. Hold on, let me just. I'll just scroll up on this one as well. Oh, it's the. Hold on. This laptop's hard to use, you know. Hold on, please. The arrows are on there. All right, the brother had a question on. Give me. How can you get me? Hold on, let me just scroll up. If I can. Yeah, give me Isaiah chapter 5 and verse 20. Go ahead.
Shalom, sir. Lord and Christ.
Yeah, most of Christ, yeah, you're back in.
I can't hear you, you know.
Hold
I can't
on.
hear you at all, sir.
You can't hear me?
I can't hear you, but I can see your lip reading, but I can't hear you.
Hold on, let me scroll down. It might be. All right. What about now? Can you hear me now, Hakim? Actually, hold on. Let me remove you then. All right. Let me add you back now.
Slovakia, sir. No, I can't hear you, sir. Can't hear you at all.
Give me a one online if you can hear me, or it might be my side. Hold on, let me just check it on here. Give me 1 second. Hold on.
Must be me then. Shit.
Arman said it's Tawab. Go ahead. Oh yeah, they said it's Tawab. One second, effect. All right, give me Isaiah chapter 5 and verse 20. Quasar. All right, I answered the audio to
Isaiah chapter 5 and verse 20. Woe unto them that call evil good.
Says, woe unto them that call evil good. Woe means what? Destruction unto them that call evil good. So now what you will find is now, in 2022, a woman stripping and being naked, that's evil. But in 2022, it's called good. A man smoking weed and getting high, nowadays, that's called good, but really it's evil. Now people tell you, yeah, take drugs, and people say to women, yo, have sex with as much men as possible and go be a city girl. That is evil, but nowadays people call it good. So it's saying, woe unto those that call evil good. Because nowadays in 2022, what is evil? They call it good. A woman having multiple men, that's now called good, when really that is evil. So this is like your Christian pastors who do this today. They call Christmas good when Christmas is evil. They call Halloween good when Halloween is evil. They call interracial relationships love whoever you want, man. Fall in love with whoever you want. They call two men in a relationship, that is evil, but they call it good. The Lord saying destruction to people who do those things. Go ahead.
And good evil.
And now they call good evil. A man saying a black man and black woman should be together. They call that evil, man. They say that's evil. You should love who you want. How dare you tell someone they can't love who they want? Now, when you say two men can't be together because it's against God, they call it evil. They say that's evil, man. How are you? When you say a man shouldn't smoke, a man shouldn't eat pork, they say that's evil. You're telling a man what he can't eat. A man should be allowed to eat what he wants to eat. They call evil good, and they call good evil. So what is really good? The roles have been switched. So that's saying people who switch the roles of good with evil. Read on.
Salakia,
Go ahead.
I don't think it was Yannikov that asked that question. You know, I think that's a troll that's asking that.
No, that's what I said. No, that's what I said. I said that's the troll.
Okay, calm.
Listen. Yannikov's a hardcore sister in here, man. She ain't gonna say shalom alaikum. You trolls gotta come better than that, man.
God.
You trolls gotta come better than that, man. Go ahead.
That put darkness for light and light
for darkness for light. So now they switch light with darkness, meaning what? What is light? Light is something which is considered good. Darkness is something which is considered evil. And they make evil good and good evil. So it's saying the same thing that it said in the previous chapter. But in this verse, it's just saying darkness. In the other verse, it's just saying light. Go ahead.
And light for darkness.
So yeah, it's just basically, it's just switching the words between good and evil. Light, dark, good, evil, same thing. Go ahead.
That put bitter for sweet.
That put bitter for sweet. Now it's saying the same thing, but it's just using different terminologies. Now, something which is bitter, like ginger's bitter, it will be like someone telling you ginger's sweet. It's not, they switch it. They give you something bitter and will tell you it's sweet when really it's not. Go ahead.
And sweet for bitter.
And then they put sweet for bitter. So they switch all the roles. Go ahead.
Woe unto them that are wise in their own eyes.
Woe unto them that are wise in their own eyes, man. A man that don't want to follow counsel. A man that wants to lean to his own understanding. A man that wants to do his own thing. They're wise in their own eyes, man. Nobody can't tell them nothing. Woe unto them. Why? Because a man that's wise in his own eyes, he can't ever understand that he's wrong. He can't ever understand that he's wrong and all of those kind of things. Says woe unto him. Go ahead.
Woe unto them that are wise in their own eyes and prudent in their own sight.
And prudent in their own sight, in their sight. They're wise and they're righteous. It says destruction unto them. Go ahead.
Woe unto them that are mighty to drink wine.
Woe unto them that are mighty to drink wine. Go ahead. And meaning what? These men is mighty in drinking. When it comes to drinking, that's all they do is drink. Go ahead.
And men of strength to mingle strong drink.
And men of strength to mingle strong drinks. All these people know is drink and to mix strong drinks. That's all they're good for. They're strong in those things. They're prudent in their own minds, and they're strong in being an alcoholic and a drunkard and those kind of things. Go ahead.
Which justify the wicked for reward.
Justify the wicked for reward, man. Now, what do they do with the wicked? They give the wicked a reward, man. Yo, what you done there was great. What you done there was good. What you done there was righteous. They justify the wicked. Go ahead.
And take away the righteousness of the righteous from him.
Take away the righteousness of the righteous from him. So much that now, while you're being righteous, everybody thinks you're unrighteous, man. Why? Because they've switched the roles around. While you're out here being righteous, this world makes out like you're unrighteous. Imagine this. You wanting to love your own people. This world tells you no, love everybody. Now the whole world thinks you're unrighteous. Why? Because you only love your people. This whole world thinks you're unrighteous. Why? Because you don't eat pork and shrimp and all of those things. When really what you're doing is righteous, and they try to take your righteousness away by switching the roles between righteousness and unrighteousness. When you say what? Two men can't be together because it's against God. That's righteous. What do they say? You're homophobic. And you've got a deep secret that you're hiding. And you're unrighteous for telling two men they can't be together. They make you feel unrighteous based on them switching righteousness for unrighteousness. That's what that's talking about. Hakim, what precept was we at before we got to the question? Damn, your audio's missing.
Okay, so we were
damn, your audio's messing up real bad.
thinking.
I think Quasar finished. I think Quasar finished that one. Give me Cause off for time's sake, get me Matthew chapter 5 and verse 33. Hakian, your feed is messing up real bad. Your feed is messing up real bad.
Matthew chapter 5 and verse 33. Again, ye have heard that it hath been said by them of old time, thou shalt not forswear thyself, but shalt perform unto the Lord thine oaths.
So don't forswear yourself. Just perform your oaths to the Lord, man. That's what you do. Your oaths, you just perform them to the Lord. Go ahead. Instead of swearing by this and swearing by that, go ahead.
But I say unto you, swear not at all, neither by heaven, for it is God's throne.
So swear not at all, neither by heaven, because it is God's throne. Hold on, give me 1 second. Let me just check something. No, ours is to up. Yeah, ours is to up. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, give me give me Matthew chapter 5. Yeah, go ahead, read on where he was.
Nor by the earth, for it is his footstool.
Not by the earth. Why? You shouldn't swear. This is what you should do. What you should do is just perform your oaths, man. Yea, yea, be yea, and your nay be nay. That's all you should do. Go ahead.
Neither by Jerusalem, for it is the city of the great king. Neither shalt thou swear by the head.
So now Christ is letting them know something. He's teaching them. Go ahead.
Because thou canst not make one hair white or black, but let your communication be yea, yea.
And that's it. Listen, man, you don't need to be like, I swear on my mom's life. I swear on this. I swear on that it wasn't me. I swear on that it wasn't me. You don't need to go do all of that, man. All you need to do is let your yea be yea and your nay be nay. Was it you? Oh, it wasn't me. Leave it as that, man. That's it. Don't add all the extra words. Swearing by this, swearing by that. Go ahead.
Nay, nay.
Hold on there. I think I'm. Hold on. Hold on. Go ahead.
For whatsoever is more than these cometh of evil.
For whatsoever is more than these cometh of evil. Go ahead.
Ye have heard they have been said, an eye for an eye, and a tooth for a tooth.
Hold on 1 second. Let me. All right, go ahead.
But I say unto you,
Actually, read that verse one more time that you was at.
neither shalt thou swear by the head, because thou canst not make one hair white or black.
Go ahead.
But let your communication be yea, yea, nay, nay. For whatsoever is more than these cometh of evil.
Go ahead.
Ye have heard they have been said, an eye for an eye,
And had it have been said, an eye for an eye, go ahead.
and a tooth for a tooth.
And a tooth for a tooth, meaning what? If someone takes your eye, you take their eye. If someone takes your tooth, you take their tooth. They said it has been said. So this was in the Old Testament. If someone takes your eye, you will take their eye. Someone takes your tooth, you will take their tooth. The spirit of this was back then. Don't take no one's tooth because you don't want them to take your tooth. Don't take no one's eye because you don't want no one to take your eye. But we got it all messed up and we just looked at it like, yo, if he takes my eye, I'm taking his eye. Whereas it was meant to be a deterrent. It was meant to, you meant to look at it and be like, damn, I don't want no one to take my eye, so I'm not going to take nobody else's eye. That's like we was meant to look at it. We didn't look at that law like that. We looked at it like, if a man takes my eye, I'm taking his eye. So we looked at it incorrect. So now Christ is here breaking the whole thing down, giving them the correct understanding of how the law was supposed to be. In the law, we was never supposed to take each other's eyes. Why? Because we were supposed to love each other enough to know, I'm not going to take his eye because I don't want someone to take my eye. That's how we were supposed to love each other. But we missed the point. We was taking each other's eyes and now saying, well, I'm going to take his eye because his took mine. That's not the spirit of the law, man. Read on.
That ye resist not evil.
That what?
That ye resist not evil.
And we don't resist evil. We're supposed to resist evil, man. Meaning what? If a man tries to kill you, how do you resist? How do you resist the evil? By not trying to kill him. What do? We put evil on them towards one another. We looking forward to this evil based on what Christ is saying. What? A tooth for a tooth, eye for an eye. Meaning what? If a man takes your eye and you take his eye, you're not resisting the evil, man. You ain't resisting evil by taking his eye. How do you resist evil? By not taking his eye, man. We do it every day with our kids. What do? We send our children to school, and what do we say? If somebody hits you, you hit them back. That's not resisting evil, man. Resisting evil would be what? Not hitting them back, man. We not resisting evil. And Christ is teaching brotherhood right here. Christ is teaching brotherhood right here. If someone does you a wrong and you don't harm them back, that person is supposed to look at it like, damn, this brother had every opportunity to take my eye and he didn't take it, man. This brother had every opportunity to kill me and he didn't kill me. This brother had every opportunity to do to me what I do to them and he didn't do it, man. That's resisting evil. And that person's supposed to see that, and then guess what happens there? The issue you and that brother have ends there. But if a man takes your eye and you take his eye, guess what's going to happen? He's going to come back and take your leg. You're going to take his leg. He's going to take your arm. You're going to take his arm. And it doesn't stop, man. Whereas if you resist the evil, it stops, man. That brother's supposed to look and say, damn, when this brother could have took my eye, he didn't take my eye. That's the spirit that we're supposed to have. That's the spirit that we're supposed to have, man. Read on.
But whosoever shall smite thee on thy right cheek,
For whosoever shall smite thee on thy right cheek, go ahead.
turn to him the other also.
Turn to him the other also. That don't mean let someone beat you up. What Christ is saying, if a brother does you wrong, man, turn the other cheek and give him another chance, man. And in that other chance, he better make it right. That other chance you give him, he better make it right, man. Read on.
And if any man will sue thee at the law and take away thy coat, let him have thy cloak also.
And if any man will sue you at the law, let him have thy cloak also, man. Go ahead.
And whoever shall compel thee to go a mile.
And Christ is teaching brotherhood, man. Listen, man. A brother sues you at the law. Read that part one more time.
And if any man will sue thee at the law and take away thy coat, let him have thy cloak also.
Says if a brother sue you at the law and take away their coat, let him have thy cloak also, man. A brother's mad at you, you give him your cloak also. This will make him say, well, damn, I've sued him at the law and he's gave me his cloak also, man. Christ is teaching brotherhood. Christ is teaching forgiveness and brotherhood right here. Read on.
And whosoever shall compel thee to go a mile, go with him twain.
Christ is saying go the extra mile for you, brother, man. A brother compels you to go a mile, you go 2 miles. Christ is teaching brotherhood, man. That's what he's teaching. Read on.
Give to him that asketh thee.
Give to him that asketh thee. Okay, let me hear how you sound.
Come on, 1 2 1 2 1 2.
Most High in Christ, give him a hand. You got that comment and sounding you up. Most High in Christ.
Back in again.
Read on part as well.
Give to him that asketh thee, and from him and from him that would borrow of thee, turn not thou away.
Go ahead. What verse you at?
Verse 42.
Go ahead.
Ye have heard that it hath been said, thou shalt love thy neighbor.
Ye have heard that it hath been said, ye shall love thy neighbor. Go ahead.
And hate thine enemy.
And what?
And hate thine enemy.
Ye have heard that it hath been said, love thy neighbor and hate thine enemy. This is talking about your enemies of Israel, man. It have been said, hate your enemy. And of course, we've got enemies of our own nation, man. We've got enemies of Israel, but there's a way we must deal with our brothers who are our enemies, man. We have tons of enemies, and the brothers. Does that mean we just go load up and go and shoot them? No, there's ways that we deal with them. Go ahead.
But I say unto you, love your enemies, bless them that curse.
It says, love your enemies, man. Bless them that curse you. Imagine a man's your enemy and he hates you, and every time he speaks bad about you and tries to harm you, you help the brother out, man. Imagine a man's your enemy and you help him out. You help his grandma across the road. His grandma goes, oh, that guy that you hate so much, help me cross the road, man. You help your enemies out. Guess what? Well, guess what? Eventually, they will be at peace with you, man. And if they're not at peace with you, the Lord will deal with them. But if you see his mother and his grandmother and swear your head off at them and say, I'm going to go kill your son, listen, we're always going to be enemies, man. This is you being the bigger person, man. And this is you following the Lord's orders. Read on.
Thou shalt love thy neighbor. But I say unto you, love your enemies, bless them that curse you, do good to them that hate you.
Do good to them that hate you, man. If there's a man that hates you and you see his car's broken down at the side of the road, man, because he's run out of petrol, you say, yo, you need to lift to the petrol station. That man will look at you like, damn, you're supposed to be my enemy and you've helped me, man. That man will stop being your enemy. This man will look at you like, go ahead.
Like what? I mean, if it was another nation, like the Arabs, right?
Mm-hmm.
What are you saying? You see an Arab on the road, and he need help? Help him.
Nah. Your enemy. This chapter right here is talking about your enemies of Israel.
Can't, sir.
This ain't talking about no heathen. You see an Arab man in the rain, you don't have to do a thing. You don't have to help him before. Let his Arab brothers help him.
That's right.
The thing is this: we are family, and even though we at odds with each other, I'm not gonna watch you starve, even though we're enemies.
Can't.
Even though we're enemies, one day we're eventually gonna all be together. And you're too stubborn to realize. So if I see your car's broken down, I'm gonna give you a hand. I'm gonna push your car for you, man. After that, you can't treat me like an enemy no more. Because meanwhile, you needed help. You didn't expect to get help from me, and I helped you, man. That's supposed to make you think in your mind. Imagine this, all this time I hated this man. And at my time of need, this man was there for me. At my time of need, this man helped me. After that, guess what will happen? You'll no longer be enemies. But if you see him broken down on the side of the road and you jump out and punch him in the face, guess what's going to happen? You're still going to be enemies, man. He's going to want to kill you. He's going to be coming for you. Whereas you could diffuse the problem. Once you see one of your enemies is in need, you can diffuse that problem by being a brother to them, man. Understand this? We might be enemies, but we're still brothers, man. We might be enemies and hate each other and can't stand each other, but we're still brothers. Us two not liking each other don't change the fact that we're brothers, and I still have a duty of being a brother to you, man. Even though we don't like each other, I still have a duty of being a brother to you. Read on. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Salaki, sir, you want me to read? What is it? Salaki, I can read for you if you want.
Matthew, where was we cut as well?
Verse 44.
Verse 44.
Chapter, sir.
Yeah, Matthew 5 and verse 44.
Come, sir. Salaki. Matthew 5,
verse 44.
44. But I say unto you, love your enemies.
Do what?
Love your enemies.
Love your enemies, man. This is your enemies of Israel, man. Listen, we can be enemies, but it don't mean we need to kill each other. Don't mean we need to harm each other. We can just stay out of each other's way. I can just see you and stay on my side, and you stay on your side, man. Go ahead.
Khan. Bless
and
them.
And love is a duty, man. By me loving my enemies means what? Love is a duty. Now, maybe I don't like you, but guess what? I can't kill you, man, because you're my brother. You can't kill me because we're brothers. If we understood this, even if we had enemies of our own nation and we understood this, guess what would happen? We would be able to go out and still be civil, man. I wouldn't need to bring a knife with me. You wouldn't need to bring a knife with you. Because we know we're enemies, but we still have a duty to be brotherly towards one another. We still have a duty to not take each other's lives because we're brothers, man. We would know these things. But because we've fell so far, we don't know these things. Go ahead.
Right. Bless them that curse you.
Go ahead.
And
now, imagine this. A man wants you destruction, that wants you to die. Imagine a man says, I hope he dies. And then someone comes to you and he said he hopes he dies. And then you send that person back with a message. Tell him I said, Lord be with him, man. Tell him I don't wish no harm on him. Lord be with him. That man would have to examine himself, man. That man would have to look in the mirror and say, why am I such an evil bastard, man?
That's right.
That man would have to say, I said I want that man to die. And that man said, he doesn't wish no harm on me. Right. You would have to examine yourself. Imagine that. Imagine that a man sends a message, tell him I'm going to shoot him, I want him to die. And then the message they received back is that man said, we're not seeing eye to eye, but no matter what, we're still brothers and I don't wish no harm on him. You would have to examine yourself, man.
That's right.
You would have to say, I'm an evil bastard. I need to examine myself.
Right.
I said, I want that man to die. And that man said, Lord, be with me, wishes no harm on me.
Right.
How can I be an enemy to a man like that? If you're a man like that and a man says he wishes nothing but well wishes for you and you still be an evil bastard, then the Lord has to come and deal with you, man.
Right.
The Lord is going to deal with you, man. And guess who's going to survive and live? The man that didn't say, the man that wished no harm on you, man. The harm that you wished on that brother, guess what's going to happen? That harm is going to come upon you. When someone's trying to be at peace with you, man, you better be at peace with them. Don't keep creating wars, because then the Lord will bring a war that you're not going to want, man.
That's right.
Read on.
Answer. Do good to them that hate you.
Do good to them that hate you, man. Imagine a man hates you, man, and you do good to him. All of this should make that man say, I'm an evil bastard, I need to change. I'm a disgusting sinner and I'm evil to this man for no reason. I'm evil to this man for no reason and this man's doing nothing but good to me. Listen, man, what you can find with this is what? Saul and David, man. Imagine Saul was trying to kill David the whole time. And what happened? David was sparing Saul's life, man. David was being nothing but nice to Saul. And Saul was being so evil that he wanted to kill David, man. And guess what happened? David ended up living to his old age and Saul ended up dying, man. Saul ended up falling on his own sword and dying. Why? Because he was a sinner, man, and he couldn't let it go. And he didn't have no brotherhood, man. What Christ is breaking down right here, if Saul followed this, then maybe he wouldn't have died the way he died, man. Right here, your enemies of Israel, you could break this down like with Saul and David, man. When it says love your enemies, David loved his enemy, man.
Right.
And he spared Saul so many times. When he could have killed him, David cut off a part of Saul's garment and said, see, I could have killed you, man, but I'm not going to kill you. And he spared him, man. David didn't need to kill Saul. David was righteous to Saul. And then the Lord ended up getting Saul. Why? Because Saul wanted to be so unrighteous, man. Read on.
So lucky, sir, if I may.
Go ahead.
So doing good to somebody that hates you, you use the example of Saul and David, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Saul wanted to kill David,
Mm-hmm.
but which is the Saul hated David, right? So the good that you're using as an example here is to not to kill your brother, even though he wants to kill you. Yeah, don't kill him. That's the doing good, right?
Yes, don't kill him, don't harm him. You know why? Because David didn't harm Saul, and guess what? The Lord killed Saul in the end anyway. David didn't have to harm him, and Saul died in the end anyway. And everybody that's trying to harm you, and you give them chance and chance and chance to be righteous and change their life, and they don't do it, the Lord's going to kill them. Why? Because the Lord said vengeance belongs to him. So you don't need to harm nobody. There's plenty of times when David could have killed Saul, and David didn't kill Saul. And guess what happened? The Lord made sure Saul died in the end anyway, which had nothing to do with David. That man that's trying to harm you will die in the end, which has nothing to do with you. He will just die. Why? Because the Lord wants to get rid of him.
Right.
And guess what? Your conscience is clear. You don't have to live with the fact knowing I killed a black man. You don't have to live with the fact knowing I killed my brother. I didn't give him that chance to repent. You gave him every chance, and then the Lord came and took him out, man, because he didn't take those chances. So
and can't forward for that. That was heavy. And just the next point I would just like to bring out if I could is basically just to add to that, you have to be brave, you know, like to someone, you know what I mean, is wanting to kill you and you don't kill him. You kind of leave yourself open, and in this world, in this way that we live now, people will see you as being weak, not retaliating, and not kind of, you know, taking recompense on him. In this world, people will definitely see you as being weak that way. But the Lord is telling us, boy, lean on him, basically. Lean on what he's telling me. Right. He will deal with vengeance, right? And he will take recompense upon your enemy. That's a brave thing to do, though. Would you agree, sir?
And listen, man, it's easy to kill a man. It's easy to kill a man. but it's harder to make a man live, man.
Right.
It's harder to make a man that wrongs you. This is why so much people get killed. Why? Because it's easy to kill. It's harder for you to give someone a pass, and the Lord wants you to do the hard thing, man, and give a brother a pass. Them brothers that killed black men, that's weak. You kill a man because he's done you a wrong. Whereas, why don't you let him live and let him have the chance to make it right? Killing's easy, man. Killing it hard. Make it right. Killing is what? Picking up a knife and a gun and that's it. Killing's picking up a knife and a gun and that's it. Whereas it's harder to make a man live. The Lord wants you to take the harder route. My brother said, but if he physically try and you defend yourself, and then you defense, you kill them unintentional, how does that sit? Now, if a man's trying to harm you, and you're in front of him and you defend yourself and you kill him, there's nothing wrong with that, man. You're defending yourself, but it becomes murder once it's premeditated. Now, even the law in England, if someone's trying to harm you, guess what? You can bust case of self-defense. Even in England, they have laws where what? You can bust case of self-defense, but if you've made it home and you come back with a weapon and kill that man, it's murder. It's premeditated. And that's what they prove in these cases, that it's premeditated to give you more time. If it was just now, you're out there in the street and a man attacks you and you punch him and he drops dead, hits his head and dies, that's self-defense, man. You'll go to court and guess what will happen? You will get a not guilty because you didn't come out of your house looking to kill somebody. It's not premeditated. But if you come out with a ski mask on and gloves on and drive to his neighborhood and shoot up the whole block, it's premeditated, it's murder. But it's not murder if you punch a man and he dies because you're defending yourself and he punched you first. That's not murder. That's self-defense. So there's a difference with it. Go ahead, keep reading that, Hakian. So Hakian dropped out again. Qatazar, pick up that for me. Matthew 5 and verse verse 44, go ahead.
Matthew chapter 5 and verse 44. But I say unto you, love your enemies, bless them that curse you, do good to them that hate you.
Do good to them that hate you, man. Imagine a man hates you, man. And you do good to him. Guess what? You might just restore that brotherhood.
Right.
That man that hates you, he should no longer hate you after that, man. He should be like, I was down and out, and guess who came to my rescue? Imagine this, man. Imagine this if you're living this gang life and what? You see a man from the opposite side of town in your city, his car's broken down, and you take him in and say, damn, what are you doing around here? Come, let me drop you home or whatnot. That man can't hate you, man. That man will, every time you come to his wood, he would have to give you a pass. He would say, you know what? I saw him, and when he was supposed to kill me, guess what? He didn't kill me, man. When he was supposed to shoot me and stab me, he didn't do it. He spared my life. That man can no longer hate you, man, because you done good to him. Go ahead.
And pray for them that despitefully use you.
And pray for them that despitefully use you. Usually, someone that despitefully uses you, you want to harm them. You want to kill them. Imagine if you pray for them. Oh, pray for the brother, man. The brother just used me. I pray for him. Now, does this mean keep letting them use you? No, it don't, man. You should only give someone the option to use you once, man. After that, you need to realize, all right, then, this person's using me. I'm not going to give them any more of my money or whatever it is. Go ahead.
And persecute you.
And what?
And persecute you.
And persecute you. Imagine someone's constantly speaking evil about you and you don't speak no evil back. Imagine someone speaking horrible about you and you don't speak no evil back. Soon, even other people's going to see, damn, why you keep going on about him and start speaking bad about him, and he says nothing but good things about you. He says nothing but, Lord be with you. Meanwhile, you're saying you hope he dies, you hope he gets this, you hope he gets that. Even your people around you is going to start looking at you like there's something wrong with you, man. Listen, man, if a man's being nice to you and wants peace with you, you better have peace with that man. Go ahead.
And persecute you, that you may be the children of your Father.
And that you may be doing all this righteousness, why? So that we can be the children of our Father, man. Go ahead.
Yes. Which is in heaven, for he maketh his sun to rise on the evil and on the good.
And he makes his sun to rise on the evil and on the good. So whether you're evil and good, guess what happens? The sun rises for both of you, man. Go ahead.
And sendeth rain on the just and on the unjust.
And it sends rain on the just and on the unjust. So guess what? The wicked, they benefit from the sunshine, and the wicked, they benefit from the rain, as well as the just. Go ahead.
For if ye love them which love you, what reward have ye?
Go ahead.
Do not even the publicans do the same?
And it says the publicans do the same. They only love people who love them. We need to love all Israel, whether they love us or hate us, man, whether they're our enemies. Go ahead.
And if ye salute your brethren only, what do ye more than others?
Go ahead.
Do not even the publicans so?
And the publicans do the same thing. Also, where's the one? Read on. There should be a part where it says, when you do these things, you heap coals on his head. You know where that one's at? It might be in the other gospel where it says you heap coals on his head. See if you can find that one for me. Hold on, let me see if you can find it. Let me see if you can. You found it?
No.
Hold on, give me 1 second. Alright, give me. Go ahead.
If they be hungry, man.
Yeah, it should. Yeah, that you can get that one.
Proverbs chapter 25 and verse 21. If thine enemy be hungry, give him bread to eat.
It says, if your enemy be hungry, give him bread to eat. Meaning this man's your enemy. In your mind, you're thinking like feeding my enemy. The Lord's showing us a more righteous way, man. If we do these things with our enemies, guess what this will do? Restore the brotherhood, and we've gained the brother, and we will no longer be enemies. Go ahead.
And if he be thirsty, give him water to drink.
And if he be thirsty, give him water to drink. Go ahead.
For thou shalt heap coals of fire.
What?
For thou shalt heap coals of fire.
And once you do these things to this brother, you shall heap coals of fire on his head. Meaning what? This should make this man feel remorseful and feel like, damn, I'm this man's enemy and he's done this for me. He's supposed to repent and feel remorseful, man. You heap coals on his head. Meaning he's feeling like, damn, his head's burning like, damn, I've been horrible to this brother and look how he's treated me, man. Look how he's repaid me and took care of me. He's fed me and he's my enemy. He's gave me water and he's my enemy. That's supposed to burn in this man's head and say, damn, I need to change, man. I've been a bastard to this brother and he's been nothing but great to me. He's been nothing but nice to me. And if they don't repent, guess what's going to happen? The Lord is going to destroy them, man. The Lord's going to be like, this brother done everything to try and mend the relationship that you two had. And you were still evil to him. And then the Lord will repay, man. Like what happened to Saul. Read on.
For thou shalt heap coals of fire upon his head, and the Lord shall reward thee.
Go ahead.
The north wind driveth away.
That's it on that. All right, let me get, for time's sake, give me, hold on, let me go into, all right, give me, hold on, which one? Give me. All right, give me John chapter 8 and verse 1. Let's quickly go into this. Actually, hold on. Give me Numbers chapter 5 and 11 verse. So now let's go to the spirit of jealousy.
This is Numbers chapter 5 and 11, verse 11. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, If any man's wife go aside.
So now it says, speak unto the children of Israel, if any man's wife go aside, because sometimes your wife will go aside and she'll cheat on you, man. She'll be a whore, or you'll just get a feeling that, damn, something's not right. Like usually if your woman is cheating or whatever, you will have a feeling that something's not right. You will have a feeling some things ain't how it used to be. And then there's a thing called the spirit of jealousy. You be saying, yo, you start saying, yo, let me look through your phone. You're looking for her messages, you're looking for her emails, you're putting a tracker on the car. If you're doing all of those things, it's because you have the spirit of jealousy, man. You don't trust your woman. You're thinking, damn, is my woman up to something? Sometimes she might be, sometimes she might not be. Sometimes maybe you've been cheated on in past relationships and you're unsure. And if you're doing all of these things, trackers on the car, tracker on the phone, listening on our phone conversations, going through the phone, all of those kind of things, you might have the spirit of jealousy, man. And usually, there's a reason why you have the spirit of jealousy. Maybe you think your woman is sleeping with other men. Maybe you think your woman has a work husband and all of these kind of things. Maybe you see your woman looking at her phone and you're thinking, damn, she never used to spend that much time on it. Who is she talking to? You might have the spirit of jealousy. Go ahead. So now there's things you do to deal with that. Go ahead.
If any man's wife go aside and commit a trespass against him, and a man lie with her carnally, and it be hid from the eyes.
And now a man lie with her carnally, meaning a next man has sex with your wife, and it be hid. Why? Because if a woman's going to cheat, she's not going to tell you, man. Chances are, if a woman's going to cheat, unless you're in here, you're probably not going to find out. In here, we'll know, man. The Lord will reveal all of that shit to us. So like in the world, if you're in jail, best believe your woman's probably got another man. Right. She's probably sleeping with another man, and you're in that jail cell thinking, tossing and turning, has she slept with another man? Now back then, if you couldn't prove it, you would come to the priest to find out. So if you're a man that's out of the blue, things was fine one day, and then now you have the spirit of jealousy. Read on. What verse you at?
Verse 13.
Go ahead.
And it be hid from the eyes of her husband.
And it be hid from the eyes of her husband, meaning what? She's living a double life. She's got a side. What did you call it today? A side nigga, a sugar daddy, a man on the side. If it be hid, go ahead.
And be kept close.
And be kept close, meaning that's their little secret, man. You don't know. While you go to work, there's a next man coming around and dealing with your woman, and you have the spirit of jealousy. You come in the house and there's a certain aftershave smell that don't smell like yours, man. There's certain things in the house that you go in a car, the passenger seat's reclined all the way back, and you don't sit that far back, man. You start to wonder, yo, some things ain't adding up. She's going out late at night. Some things ain't adding up, and you get the spirit of jealousy. Go ahead.
And she be defiled, and there be no witness against her, neither she be kept.
And it says, and there be no witness against her. It says, and there be no witness against her, meaning what? Nobody seen that she was having sex with another man. There's no witnesses. Read on.
Neither she be taken with the manner, and the spirit of jealousy come upon him.
Neither she be taken with the manner, and that spirit of jealousy comes upon him. Now, Quatazar, can you kill your woman if you suspect her of cheating?
No.
Exactly. You can't harm your woman you suspect her of cheating. You can't even kill your woman if she does cheat on you. Now, back then we had the law, but now, if you think your woman, if you suspect your woman cheats on you, then this is what you would have to do. You would obviously have the spirit of jealousy, and you would come before the priest. You wouldn't take matters into your own hands like so much men on the news do. They think their woman's cheating on them and go stab her to death. That's not the way, man. That's not the way. She probably not be cheating on you. It could be all in your head, or she could be cheating on you, man. And this is what we would do. We had the law in Israel called the spirit of jealousy. This is what we would do. Go ahead.
And he'd be jealous of his wife.
And he'd be jealous of his wife because this thinking things ain't how it used to be. Go ahead.
And she be defiled.
And she be defiled, meaning what? She's dealt with another man. She's defiled now, man. Listen, this is your woman, and she's been dealt with by another man. She's now defiled, but at this time you don't know she's been defiled. Why? because she does these things when you go to work, when you're not in the house, and you just got a feeling something's not right. You're phoning her, she's not picking up the phone, she's hiding her phone, she's changing the password. You're thinking all of these things. You have the spirit of jealousy. Something ain't sitting right with you. Read on.
Or if the spirit of jealousy come upon him, and he be jealous of his wife, and she be not defiled, then shall the man bring his wife unto the priest.
And then you would bring your wife unto the priest, meaning what? You would bring your wife before a councilman. If you have that spirit of jealousy today, you bring your wife to a councilman, you bring her to a council in the ISUPK, and you present all your evidence as to why you think she's doing these things, as to why you think she's being a whore, or as to why you think she's dealt with somebody else, as to why you think she's done these things. You bring her before a council, and chances are most women that cheat won't show up to the councilman because they got something to hide. They don't want to clear their name. They won't show up to the council. But a sister that does want to clear her name, she will show up to the councilman and let you know it's all in your head, man. You present all the evidence as to why you think she's cheating. Read on.
Then shall the man bring his wife unto the priest, and he shall bring her offering for her.
And he shall bring the offering for her. Go ahead. Hold on, let me scroll onto the part I want. Go ahead. Hold on, what verse you at?
Verse 15.
Hold on, let me go down to the part I want. All right, give me verse 16.
Verse 16. And the priest shall bring her near and set her before the Lord.
So now the priest shall bring her near and set her before the Lord. And you're before the Lord when you're in a council, man. So she would come to this council. Go ahead.
And the priest shall take holy water in an earthen vessel.
And it would take water, separate water, and put it in an earthen vessel. And then they would sweep the dust in the temple. And they would put that in the water. Go ahead.
And of the dust that is in the floor of the tabernacle, the priest shall take and put it into the water, and the priest shall set the woman before the Lord and uncover the woman's head, and put the offering of memorial in her hands.
So now she takes this cup. Go ahead.
Which is the jealousy offering,
and it's called the jealousy offering. Go ahead.
And the priest shall have in his hand the bitter water that causeth the curse.
And now, in this is a curse. So if she has cheated on her husband, he's going to know why. Because once she drinks that water, the curse will be upon her. The curse will be upon her, and then this man will realize, okay, then it wasn't all in my mind. It wasn't all in my mind. I knew something wasn't right. And he will know because the curse will be upon her. If the curse isn't upon her, it means your woman ain't cheated on you, man. It's just all in your mind. And in here, you can bring her to, nowadays, you just bring her to a council and you will know. Go ahead.
And the priest shall charge her by an oath.
And now she has to take an oath before the priest to say, yo, I'm not lying. I ain't cheated on my man and I'm willing to clear my name and prove I ain't cheated. Go ahead.
And say unto the woman, if no man have lain with thee.
If no man what?
If no man have lain with thee.
Because this man suspects a man's lied with his woman. He suspects another man's had sex with his woman. Says, if no man have lain with thee. Go ahead.
And if thou hast not gone aside to uncleanness with another instead of thy husband.
And if thou hast not gone aside to uncleanness with another instead of thy husband, she's had sex with another man. Go ahead.
Be thou free from this bitter water.
And it says, be thou free from this bitter water. So now if you haven't done them things, then she won't get the curse, man. Go ahead.
That causeth the curse.
Now this bitter water causes the curse. Go ahead.
But if thou hast gone aside to another instead of thy husband, and if thou be defiled, and some man have lain with thee.
And now if she has had sex with another man, go ahead.
Beside thine husband, then the priest shall charge the woman with an oath of cursing.
And now he will charge her with an oath of cursing, man. So this woman is an adulterer, and he will charge her in an oath of cursing. Go ahead.
And the priest shall say unto the woman, the Lord make thee a curse and an oath among thy people, when the Lord doth not make thy thigh to rot.
And now it will make their thigh rot. So this was the curse. Everyone would know this woman was a whore. Why? Because it would make her thigh rot and her belly would swell. Go ahead.
And thy belly to swell.
And your belly would swell. What verse we at?
Verse 22.
Go ahead.
And this water that causeth the curse shall go into thy bowels, to make thy belly to swell, and thy thigh to rot.
And now it's letting you know, listen, if you have laid with another man, you're going to drink this water, and this curse is going to be upon you. Go ahead.
And the woman shall say, Amen, amen.
Go ahead.
And the priest shall write these curses in a book.
Go ahead.
And he shall blot them out with the bitter water.
Go ahead.
And he shall cause the woman to drink the bitter water that causeth the curse. And the water that causeth the curse shall enter into her and become bitter. Then the priest shall say,
actually, jump down to verse 27 for time's sake.
Verse 27.
So this is just about drinking the water. Go ahead.
And when he hath made her to drink the water, then it shall come to pass that if she be defiled and have done trespass against her husband, that the water that causeth the curse shall enter into her and become bitter, and her belly shall swell.
And now if she has cheated on her husband, her belly would swell and her thighs would rot. So then that man would know, all right, this woman's a hoe, and everyone else in Israel would know this woman's a hoe because of the curse that she has. Go ahead.
And her thighs shall rot.
And her thighs shall rot. Go ahead.
And the woman shall be a curse among her people.
And she shall be a curse among her people. So now, Quasar, if adultery is punishable by death, if they knew she committed adultery here, why don't they just put her to death?
Because nobody witnessed it.
There you go. Now give me Deuteronomy chapter 17 and verse 6. So now, the reason they can't just put her to death, why? Because there has to be witnesses to it. You can't just put someone to death with no witnesses. You need to have a witness to everything. If you say someone sinned and transgressed, there needs to be witnesses. Now, this woman cheated when her husband went there. She's done it, but there was nobody that witnessed it at the time. So she can't get put to death like that. Why? Because there's no witnesses. But what she will live with is a curse. Where nowadays, if a woman's a hoe, and no one gets put to death nowadays, what do women live with today? AIDS, HIV, off pH balance where men can smell them from a mile away, don't even want to touch them. That's what they live with today. Back then you lived with rotten thighs and a swelled stomach. Today you just live with all manner of diseases, and them diseases will let a man know, yeah, she's a hoe. Them STDs will let a man know she's a hoe.
Right.
That's how a man will know today, man.
That's right.
He will know, yeah, this woman's a hoe and she's an adulterer because she's got all these STDs, she's got all these diseases, she's riddled with AIDS and everything else. He will know you're a hoe, man. That's how he will know today. Back then, your thighs would rot and your belly would swell. And the thing is this, nobody probably witnesses you being a hoe today, but they witness you on the AIDS ward, man.
Right.
They witness you taking AIDS medication. They witness these things, but nobody witnessed you being a hoe. And that's a sign to all Israel and women and men. And that's a sign to women, stop being whores, man. Because one day it's going to come out that you got full-blown AIDS. Now, we might not witness you being a hoe and having sex with 100 different men, but we will witness you die from AIDS.
Right.
We will witness that. We will witness your death certificate says died from AIDS. That's what we will witness. Give me what did they tell you to get from me?
Deuteronomy 7 and verse 6.
Deuteronomy, hold on, let me see which one I wanted. Deuteronomy 17 and verse 6. So now the reason why they can't put her to death is why? Because nobody witnessed it. Give me Deuteronomy chapter 17 and verse 6.
Deuteronomy chapter 17 and verse 6. And at the mouth of 2 witnesses and 3 witnesses.
So it says at the mouth of 2 witnesses or 3 witnesses, there needs to be witnesses to these crimes, man. Go ahead.
Or 3 witnesses shall he that is worthy of death be put to death.
So now someone who's got a punishment which is punishable by death, there needs to be 2 witnesses or 3 witnesses that can witness it, man. Go ahead.
But at the mouth of 1 witness, he shall not be put to death.
At the mouth of 1 witness, he shall not be put to death. So even if that husband walked in the house, that's 1 witness. You need 2 or 3 witnesses, man. You need solid proof and 2 or 3 witnesses. And then that person can be put to death. This woman, the reason she couldn't be put to death, they took her and just put the curse in her. Why? Because they can't put her to death because there wasn't 2 or 3 witnesses, man. If there was 2 or 3 witnesses, she could be put to death. Now give me John chapter 8 and verse 1, where they had witnesses.
John chapter 8 and verse 1. Pardon me. Jesus went unto the Mount of Olives.
Hold on, let me see if this is the right one. Go ahead. Hold on. One second. Let me see part one. Give me verse 3.
Verse 3. And the scribes and Pharisees brought unto him a woman taken in adultery.
So these men had witnesses. The scribes and Pharisees brought a woman taken in adultery. Now they brought her, and in the law of Moses, it said you put a woman like this to death by the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, then you can put someone to death. They had their witnesses, man. They brought her to Christ because they wanted to test him. They wanted to see if he followed the law of Moses or not. Go ahead.
And when they had set her in the midst, they say unto him, Master, this woman was taken in adultery in the very act. Now Moses in the law commanded us that such should be stoned.
So now they say Moses in the law commanded us that such should be stoned. And Moses did command that such should be stoned. We just read it at the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses. Then if someone has to be put to death, then they will be put to death if the crime they committed was punishable by death. So they've caught this woman in adultery and they've got their witnesses. They don't need to bring this woman to the temple for her to drink the dust and the water. You know why? Because they caught her in the very act. Now the one that you don't catch in the very act, that's the one that you take to counsel. That's the one that you would drink the dust and water. Why? Because you don't have no solid proof. Now her fire rotting and all of those things was the Lord giving you a sign. Yet this woman's done played the harlot. Now, a woman today having an STD and all kinds of diseases, it lets you know she's promiscuous, man. It lets you know these things. You should know these things, man. You go to the house and there's medication everywhere. You should look at that medication, man. You should zoom in on that medication and then Google what that medication is for, man.
Right.
You should Google what that medication is for, man. You should leave that house and say, like, oh, I'm too old, I think I'm gonna head out. Read on.
They say unto him, Master, this woman was taken in adultery in the very act.
She was taken in the what?
In the very act.
They actually caught her having sex, man. They actually seen her actually in the act having sex with somebody that is not her husband, man. Maybe her husband seen it and called witnesses to witness it, man. I said, look, I need some more witnesses. You don't say that, but I'm saying that's probably what they've done because by the mouth of one witness, someone can't be put to death. So multiple people must have witnessed it and they've brought her to Christ. They've caught her in the very act. Go ahead.
Now Moses in the law commanded us that such should be stoned.
And Moses in the law commanded that someone like this should be stoned if they commit adultery because adultery is punishable by death. Go ahead.
But what sayest thou? This they said, tempting him.
And they was tempting him. Go ahead.
That they might have to accuse him. But Jesus stooped down and with his finger wrote on the ground as though he heard them not.
Go ahead.
So when they continued asking him, he lifted up himself and said unto them, He that is without sin among you, let him cast the first stone at her.
So Christ said, all right, he that's without sin, throw the first stone. Because Christ is saying, you're punishing her for what she's done wrong. And what she did do wrong was wrong. She should have been stoned, but them men was doing wrong also, so they couldn't stone her. So Christ said, whoever is without sin, you cast the first stone. Go ahead.
And they which heard it, being convicted by their own conscience.
They was convicted by their own conscience. Why? Because they understood if we stone her, maybe we need to stone each other because we all disgusting. Them men probably was committing adultery too.
Right.
But they didn't want to take the beam out of their own eye. They wanted to notice the beam in somebody else's eye. Go ahead.
Right.
And what Christ is doing, Christ ain't excusing her disgusting behavior, man. Christ ain't excusing her whorish behavior. Paul's used this to say, don't judge me. No. Afterwards, we're going to read what Christ said to this woman, man. Read on.
What? Being convicted by their own conscience, went out one by one.
They went out. Listen, them man left the room, tried to leave the room quietly one by one, man. One man walked out, next man, they left one by one. Go ahead. That's it. Them man was ashamed and embarrassed and left secretly, man. One man's trying to leave without anybody else noticing his left, man. Because there was all sinners, man, and they all left one by one. Go ahead.
Right. Beginning at the eldest.
The eldest, the wisest of them. Go ahead.
Even unto the last.
Go ahead.
And Jesus was left alone, and the woman standing in the midst.
Go ahead.
When Jesus had lifted up himself and saw none but the woman, he said unto her, Woman, what are those thine accusers?
And he goes, where are those thine accusers? Them men that caught her in the act of adultery, those was her accusers. Them men witnessed it. They was accusing her of committing adultery and ready to stone her to death. Go ahead.
Have no man condemned thee?
Go ahead.
She said, no man, Lord. And Jesus.
So Christ said, does any man punish me? You condemn thee? Go ahead.
She said, no man, Lord. And Jesus said unto her, neither do I condemn thee. Go and sin no more.
He said, go and what?
Go and sin no more.
Listen, man, if you're a whore, you just go and be a whore no more, man.
Right?
He didn't spare this woman's life for her to continue to be a whore. He said, go and sin no more, meaning don't commit adultery no more, man. Don't be a whore no more.
Right.
He didn't excuse her disgusting behavior. In church, they read this and make her like, don't judge her. Christ told her, go and sin no more, which lets you know he acknowledged what she done was wrong, man.
That's true.
He said, sin no more, meaning what you done was wrong, don't do it no more. He just showed her mercy. And you sisters that have been whores, you're being shown mercy. Change your life today, man.
Right.
Don't wait until tomorrow. There could be AIDS there tomorrow. There could be all kinds of STDs there tomorrow. You change your life today and go and sin no more.
That's right.
You swung on that pole yesterday. Go and swing on that pole no more, man.
Right.
Listen, man. Go and swing on that pole no more, man.
That's true.
You say goodbye to that pole, man. You quit swinging from everything, man. You don't even go on the swing in the park no more, man. Right. Anything to do with swing, you just stay away from. Go and sin no more. With that, that brings us to the end of the class. Clap it up. We're going to do the security announcement and be out of here.
This is the ISUPK security announcements. Where the ISUPK started off.
Hey, Sean, damn you, you're back.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Oh my days, that was a fight, you know, just to get on.
Damn.
Salakia, people. Salakia.
No, sir.
We are the ISUPK started at 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 months period, brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers chapter 18 and verse 21. Malachi chapter 3 verses 8 to 10 means 10th in Hebrew, ma'ashara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priest, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations.
Easter Hanukkah, December 17th.
Or Akim and Akoffer to check the bulletin board in the hallway. If anyone wants to be a tutor in the school, start wearing all black boots, pants, salakia, all black boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. To that, we say a majim Shabbat, a majim Barak, Yahweh Bashim Yahshua Bakathah,
Yahweh Bashim Yahshua Bakathah,
Hajim Matah. Class dismissed.
Hey, it's lucky for that, sir.
And now also it's too hard. It's too hard.
It's all right now. We got it set now, so I'll be ready next week. Should be fine now.
Yeah, man.
It's another computer I'm using, so
yeah, no sir. It's too hard.
All right, sir.
All right. Shalom,
Shalom, sir.
All right, Shalom Israel. I'll be here tomorrow with Officer Karafi, I believe. Shalom Israel.